Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I'm actually really excited about this video regardless of the topic because I feel like a lot of people need to hear this. If you're new here, my name is Shreya and I make a lot of different videos every week, so feel free to subscribe and give this video a thumbs up. Grab your coffee and let's get started. So today we're going to be talking about rejection, which is probably the worst part of the college application process. Oh my gosh, there is a sports car going down my street right now. Woo! That was pretty cool. Anyway, it happened to everyone and I feel like you're not doing it right if you don't get rejected by at least a couple of the places that you apply to. What I mean by that is if you're taking the process super seriously and you apply to reach schools, then of course those schools are going to be like questionable on whether or not you're going to get accepted. Pat yourself on the back for actually having the courage to apply to those places in the first place. Another thing I want to clear up is you literally don't have to tell anyone like anything about your college journey and your acceptances and all that. Like, that's completely your business and only yours. I applied to 19 colleges, probably a little bit more than that, like 21 I would say. It was insane. I do not recommend applying to that many universities or colleges. I just had no idea what I was doing and literally applied everywhere. I went in with the mindset of, okay, I'm just gonna go to the best school that I'm accepted at because I feel like that's what everyone does. I wish I did not have that mindset going into the whole process because it would have been a lot easier and more relaxing for me. I got into a school that I thought I was gonna go to just because I was like, oh my gosh, like I got in, I was deferred first, then accepted, which made it even more exciting, and they had so many famous alumni and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm this smart. All this stuff, blah blah blah. And then I like visited it and like didn't like it. But there were a lot of schools that I got into it. I'm like, oh, that's a good school, but I knew from the start that I didn't want to go there, or it was like too big for me. But I was trying to convince myself just because it had like a lower acceptance rate that I had to go there. And I think first of all, like if you're dealing with getting rejected from places, that's the first thing you need to realize is it's not always the best choice to go somewhere based on the acceptance rate or that's the best school I got into, so that's where I'm gonna go. Like, there are so many other factors that play into where you go. I have a friend that got into Princeton and went to a community college because she wanted to save money and live close to home. That doesn't mean that she's not smart or not capable. Obviously she got into Princeton, but you don't want to judge anyone based on what school they went to because there are so many different factors that play into it. If you get rejected, let yourself feel it, let yourself be really sad, because it was Ivy decision day and I was walking down the hallways of my high school and all the smartest kids in the school were like bawling their eyes out because they all got rejected, and it was such a weird sight to see because on one hand you're like, wow, these kids are like so smart, they've worked so hard their entire lives, like they definitely deserved it, and it just sucks that they didn't get in and they didn't get that chance. But then on the other hand, it's like, well, there's so many amazing capable people out there and they can't accept you all. A common thought that always pops into my head like with rejection is, why did I spend so much work on the application? Like, why did I waste so much time in high school getting good grades, like working so hard if I was just gonna get rejected? But you have to come to realization, especially once you get to college, even if you get rejected from your dream school and you go to a school that's like not as good, if you apply the same work ethic and effort into everything, it's gonna pay off so much. You're gonna be so prepared going into college, and that counts. I don't regret writing the 800-word optional essay for the one school that I got rejected at because I learned a lot when I was writing that essay. It's just another essay I have under my belt. Is more effort and more experience, and I know I'm hardworking and I know that it wasn't a waste. So don't discredit or discount your hard work if you get rejected. It all is worth it and was for a cause. The biggest takeaway from a rejection is you have to remember that just because a person goes to a super prestigious school does not mean they're going to be successful in life. That's a big one. I know some people that went to Harvard and they can't find a job versus people that went to like community colleges, started their own business, and now it's booming and they're making a ton of money and they love what they do. It really does not matter where you go, it's what you do with it. And you probably heard this a million times, but it is so true. I think if anything, getting rejected from a school that you really wanted to get into and then going to another school, you have more fuel goal and more of a passion and a drive to succeed and prove the world wrong, and I think that's really special, and I think it's something that you should use to just make yourself super successful in the long run. Last year when I was going through the whole college thing, I had no idea what I was gonna do. I called my uncle. He is a very successful lawyer in New York, and I was asking him about his job, and I'm like, so if I want to do exactly what you do and be as successful as you are, like what do I have to do? He was giving me all this advice of like undergraduate schools, grad schools, like all this stuff, and it stressed me out a lot. I was like, whoa. He was telling me, he's like, oh, you know how most people, like when they go to college, they have a hard time adjusting, like don't let that be you. Like get a 4.0 like straight from the start, like all this stuff, and it really stressed me out. But then at the end of all of that, he said, listen, there's people that work with me, work for me, where life had taken them crazy places. They haven't followed the traditional path and they still ended up where I am, which is a very important takeaway, because at every job you have the people that did it like the traditional straightforward way that you would think that you would have to do to get to where you want to be, but then you also always have a couple of wild cards, which should give you hope that even if things don't go the way that you planned, there's always a chance of it working out. And if things do go the way that you planned, there's always a chance of it not working out. I'm a strong believer in everything happened for a reason. I always used to hate that and think that that's not something that I believed in, but I believe in that phrase so much now. I've been through a lot that has really taught me that that's true. There is a plan for you, and if you believe that you are going to be a failure in life because you didn't make it into the school and you got rejected, then that's completely wrong, and you should change your mindset. Don't compare yourself to other people in your high school, which is really hard. On all levels, this is super hard, especially if you're like, oh my god, that person like didn't work as hard as me, didn't take the honors classes, didn't take the AP classes, but they still made it into a better school than me. Like, how did that happen? Don't compare yourself, because at the end of the day, like, you still push yourself and you still challenge yourself. Want someone who maybe doesn't have that work ethic go to a school that's like really hard. They're gonna learn and gonna have to fail before they succeed. And the next thing that I want to say, I don't know if it's controversial or not, but I believe that the place where you go for undergraduate schooling is really not that important in the long run. You can literally go anywhere, and if you get a degree and you apply it properly, you go to grad school, like you can really do whatever you want. I want to do another video on like how to pick a school because May 1st is coming up. This video is kind of rambly and all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it and maybe learned something from it. Remember, rejection is a part of life, and the sooner that you learn how to be okay with it and deal with it, you will be such a stronger, better human being in the world. So it's okay if you didn't get into your dream school. Remember, you can always transfer, but I bet if you pick the right school for you, you're not gonna want to transfer because you're gonna love it so much. It'll be okay. Anyway, I hope you guys are staying safe and happy, and I'll see you next time. Bye.